Hey, hey, hey. It's just your shit's not doing the way here. Out here on the spiritual ranch. Yet we meet again. Uh, I'm the off grid oracle. And yeah, that hey, 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 that's Fat Albert, right? I wonder how Fat Albert liked being in prison. Predator, Uh, yeah, I watched that shit when I was a kid, Also, I remember watching him. He's everybody's favorite dad or whatever, right? Yeah. Gotta love the world we live in, man. You know, so much bullshit. It's incredible. Um, Being a powerful empath. I always had a real strong intuition. As a child, I remember I always thought that guy was creepy as fuck. I always thought he was real creepy. And so, hey, hey, hey. I bet you that's what his cellie told him. I bet you that's what his cellie told him every night. He probably said, hey, hey, hey. I shouldn't laugh. It's horrible. It's not. It's nice to see the predatorial motherfuckers get punished, though. It really is. I ain't the divine. I know there's some evil ones out here. God will forgive. Because God's most high. And I would never say that was the wrong thing to do because, hey, I benefited from it. God most high has forgiven me. So, uh, yep. It's what it is, right? How's everybody out there doing? How's everything treating everybody? Um, any kind of spiritual insights that you've been having downloads or anything, that you're going to have the fucking gonads to share with people? That's what I wonder. It's okay to talk your mind. I know it's hard sometimes. A lot of people want to tell us to shut up or want to tell us that we're no good or whatever the fuck they think that they're better than us, But that shouldn't stop you from ever speaking your mind. That's how we keep ourselves free. Even if people don't agree with our thoughts, or even if our thoughts are just our thoughts or our thoughts alone, they should be our exercise, and it should be our right, to explore those regions of consciousness or existence, as we choose, and not be called crazy or set aside as an outcast, or as somebody who doesn't count. I mean, even in the Bible, Moses, the tribe couldn't even understand Moses, And that's why they had to get that other guy in there to be the first preacher, So like they found a way to communicate a message that otherwise wasn't getting through, because Moses knew what he was trying to say, but he just wasn't saying it in a way that was being understood. But he kept trying, and that's how it is being a chosen one, Even if everybody wants to tell you that you stutter or like you sound like you're retarded or they don't understand you, they just look at you and walk away. A lot of times, you open your mouth up and the word God comes out, people just go bug-eyed and they just kind of turn and they just walk away. Just gotta keep telling them, man. Just gotta keep going, and eventually, I can't remember if it was Levi or what. I want to say Levi, but I don't know. I can't remember, But he was the first one that they made at the tabernacle and stuff, and he went in there with Moses because he spoke good, but Moses stuttered or whatever. Moses couldn't speak because his tongue didn't work very good, But God knew that his heart worked good. Moses had the right heart. He had a heart that God could speak to, And so that's why Moses still was able to get that message out there, no matter what hindrance, lead the nations and stuff, Even though most people would be like, what's that guy say? He led the nation, He led them out of Israel or out of Egypt, He led them through the desert, for 40 years, but led them across the Red Sea, because God was there with him. And that's what it is, being a chosen one, And so, no matter what, no matter who wants to silence you or who wants to tell you that you don't got it, what it takes, to be chosen. That's just because they don't understand you, And that makes it even more reason why you're most likely chosen. Because it's the chosen ones that get told, no, you can't do that. It's the chosen ones that get told, no, you ain't good enough for that. No, God ain't blessing you, And it's the chosen ones that are always told that, because God chooses the ones that are least expected to be the chosen ones, because that's how God keeps dying all these evil motherfuckers out here, And they think they're hiding because they think we stutter. And they think we don't got a voice. They think that we don't speak the right language that society wants to hear so that we can expose their asses, But the truth is, all we got to do is speak, because God's the one who's going to expose their asses, and God speaks all languages. And that's the truth, It's energy that we're working with here, man. That's how you do it. If any of you wondered how you do it, that's how you do it. It's called faith. Faith in the Most High give you dominion over all realms, Absolute faith in the Most High gives you absolute power and control over everything below you, because the only thing above you is Most High, man. It's the way it works. It's how it works. You want to be a divine being, That's the only ingredient you need. It's just one ingredient, It's one single ingredient, man. Faith. And it's like foreign language nowadays, it seems to me. That candle burned down fast right there. Most High, Spirit, God, I love you. You've proven yourself amongst the pantheon to be the fair God, the righteous God, the only God that's worth being worshipped. And you don't ask us to slay our children, and they make up lies on you, and they want to say that you slayed your child, but we all know that that's a lie, We know that's a lie, because it was man's hands that saved your child. Because all of us are your children, and they try to kill us every day, God. And you know that. And I appreciate you for doing that, and I know you see me, and I know you hear me. And because you made me to be seen, and you made me to be heard, and that's why you did that, and so I follow through on that promise that you made me, and I want to be able to see myself in the same light that you shine, because that's the light that you broke me off of, man. That's the light that you made me out of, And when you did that, you forged me with a tongue that's sharp like a sword, And you gave me the strength to wield that tongue, and but sometimes I don't have the proper guidance, and that's why I ask you to give me proper guidance and protect me and keep me safe in your bosom, man. Keep me as one of your flock, be my shepherd, and use my tongue as your sword to help protect the other members of this flock out here too, because there's wolves in this forest, man. There's wolves out here lately. There's wolves thick, And you know how to take care of that shit, and you can identify between the ones that are wolves and the ones that are just puppy dogs, And so I love you, Most High. Thank you for everything that you do, Thank you. That's Seven of Swords right there. Slide down on the bottom of the deck. A lot of that energy, man. A lot of wands today. A lot of fire energy. For sure. All day long, So that coin over there. That coin. That's that counterfeit coin I was talking about earlier, And it's the got the iron cross on it, it's a Reichsmark or whatever. It's a coin from it's a false coin, fake coin. It's a counterfeit coin, So it's bullshit coin, but it's like a Nazi coin, And so it's the that coin for me represents the cult, you know, secret organizations, Bilderberg, NATO, the World Health Organization, BlackRock, Bloomberg Group, all of them, you know. The oh, what's the other one, man? All of them, we all know who they are. I don't like talking about them fuckers, man. You know, Klaus Schwab and all them son of bitches. You know, it's them world controllers. You know, it's the pseudo government. It's the government that rules from behind the scenes, that has the ultimate control by using dark craft and manipulation of us for a long, long time, so that to the point where everything in your life is a lie, you know? And so that's that organization right there, you know? Because the whole deal with Adolf Hitler, with the world wars, you know, that was all about removing the Russian oligarchies in the first place, you know? And they did that on a false flag. They had a crazy man that went in there and burned that building down. And then that was what rallied the German people to back the Nazi party, because it was just like current times, you know, identical to current times. Is no different than like these people that are like burned, like attacking these Tesla places and stuff, you know. And we gotta be aware of this. You know, this is how they put dictators in charge, you know. And we have two sides or more right now currently, but they all work for the same side. But they're vying for who of the subgroups gets to be the dictatorship, you know. Is what we're doing here, you know. And so, and those people right there are pulling strings, you know, right? This coin right here, this shell, that's a seashell. It's a limpet shell. So it could represent water. It could represent the ocean, the sea, you know. So there could be an ocean between this group. There could be a lot of distance between this group, you know, or any individuals who are associated with this group, and the divine feminine. That ocean could be emotion as well. This group could be also, it could be like karmic family members. It could be karmic government around you. It could be a lot of things. It could be there's controllers in your life who are controlling you in a manner, using emotion that's making you feel distant, you know, from them too, but just distant from everything. They're making you feel isolated, you know. You are the divine feminine, because this coin right here is the divine feminine. And this coin right here, this quarter's beat the fuck up, man. It's been defect coin, you know. I don't know if it was defect coin from the factory or if it just had a hard life, you know, or what. But either way, it's a 9 of wands, you know. And this coin right here. And then this coin right here. This is the divine masculine coin, because that coin is a 1963 or 64 silver Liberty coin, right? And so it's real silver. It's a silver coin. It's like 90% silver, you know. And so so is this coin right here. It's 90% silver. And so that coin is the real deal. That's the divine masculine, you know. But the divine masculine, because he's touching this coin right here, which is my 9 of wands, you know, because this is the wounded warrior coin. This coin has the shit kicked out of it. It's touching this divine masculine, but it's not touching divine feminine. See, she's over here. She's fighting with this group. She's going over and above, you know, because see, this coin that's right here underneath the divine masculine, that's my karmic, familial, feminine. That's the karmic familial feminine matriarch, you know. And so that's a mother figure, grandma figure, or like, I mean, it could be like a probation officer. It could be somebody that's an older woman that has control over you in one way or another, you know. And it could be a mother, you know, but it's karmic. And so it's not a relationship that is nurturing. It's a controlling relationship, right? It's cold, you know. And like this coin right here Okay, so this one right here, this is a Chuck E. Cheese coin. I don't know if you're familiar with Chuck E. Cheese. It was more of a thing, I think, when I was a kid, But you'd go down there and like we never went. We were too broke. I never went when I was a kid. I just took my kid there one time when I was an adult, when I was grown up, and I had my child, But yeah, we were too broke when I was a kid to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Probably lucky for that because this Chuck E. Cheese token right here, it's been fucked off, man. And it's kind of like my five of wands in reverse, So it's like it's fucked off, It's been abused. It's like a five of wands in reverse. I see it as kind of like it's kids. The upright position is kids that are just like play fighting and stuff, But in the reverse, I see it as like something got done to the children, that was of the dark craft, Like that was they were like sacrificed, or they were used, they were abused, They were put in an unsafe situation, and they weren't able to play like kids, They had to grow up fast. Is that token right there, And it's on top of my that's the karmic masculine paternal of the family. That's the daddy, that's the karmic daddy, that's the karmic mommy, man. And so the masculine, the divine masculine, is leaning heavy on the mommy, but feeling a wounded warrior because there's a separation from the divine feminine. But the wounded warrior coin is touching the divine masculine, and so there's issues that divine masculine is trying to deal with that's caused the separation between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But this gap is not very big. And so she's not really in a wounded warrior position, but she knows that there needs to be distance and stuff, but she doesn't want her masculine to go too far away, because she's aware of what is the cause of the pain for this masculine who's leaning so heavily on their mother, And so the father figure over here, well, this coin right here, this is my Earth Angel coin. And this coin right here is or native coin. See, this is an Indian head, a buffalo quarter, a buffalo nickel. And so this is the Indian head. The Indian head's looking up right here. And then this coin right here is my ancestors' coin. And I can't read the one. I don't know what the one is underneath it. I think that's a no value coin. Yeah, it says family entertainment, no cash value. So, yeah, family entertainment, no cash value. This is my ancestors' coin right here. That's an Earth Angel coin, and that's also a Native American coin because it's got that head there, so it could be an indigenous people, right? And that's the divine masculine. I push this over a little. These two weren't really touching, so mom and dad divorced. And then this coin right here is this is my ancient history coin. Can't read this one. Oh, Six Flags. So that's the ancient history coin. That's the Six Flags, and it says it's a 10-cent ride, And so, and then this over here, this is an old military button from like the late 1800s, So it's like Indian killing fucking motherfuckers, It's kind of like a lot. We still have that vibe nowadays. They're always trying to find somebody to kill, But it's like, it's like our own toxic past as a nation, like our own genocidal past as a nation, is what that button represents to me. I found it out here, and there's a lot of genocide here. This place has a dark history. And I believe that button is associated. There was an internment camp out here for Chinese and Native Americans, ran by the government for a long time. And being an empath, I already know it's this place has got some real heavy energy, heavy duty shit because of the stuff that goes on with these dark motherfuckers, twisted motherfuckers out here. Evil, man. There's some really evil people out here around you that you'd be surprised what people actually think and do, you know? I mean, you know, the guy out here was a demon. The valley that he's named after, I won't even speak his name online actually because I don't want to speak it out loud like that here. I'm alone. I do a lot of work around here because there's a lot of spirits out here. This is a powerful place. But he's a demon, you know. He had a hatchet that he claimed the lives of 60 babies with, you know. And he would wear it to parties and stuff so he could break it out and brag about it, you know. Like it was his showpiece, you know. And fuck, you know, man. I mean, come on. But these fuckers are still, that's no different than when these guys sit and sign bombs and shit like that Zelensky was over here in the U.S., the American bombs, right? You know? Signing them so they could go drop them and kill babies and shit, you know? They'd be arrogant. They're just arrogant, you know? Crazy, man. Like the Nazis, you know? They're like this over here. They're that SS coin, man. And they got control over all of us, you know? So like these son of a bitches right here, they got control over these militaries. They got control over these worldly powers that are just crusty old outdated fucks that want to do just horrific stuff, you know? And as they go around rampaging the world, they're causing a lot of deeply seated issues and problems within our family bloodlines, you know? Like people are hurting their children and stuff, or they're willing to let their children be hurt or whatever because they're from a culture that was under siege and got attacked by these entities over here, by these investment groups, you know, by these investors, by these world powers, you know, and they send them out wherever they want in the world, you know, send them out in the ocean. They go find some fucking island somewhere where there's some people that have been living there a long time with their ancestors and shit. And it's all good, right? And then it's like they got family entertainment, you know. These people roll in and they're like, oh, hey, you know, we're going to do whatever we want with this. You know, we want some entertainment, right? Or, you know, you can read it that way. Or you could read it also with that family entertainment coin right there. It could get a little deeper where it could be like these people right here, yeah, they got attacked, you know, but they already had some shit going on that was family entertainment for them, you know. They kept it in the family, you know. And so this culture got attacked, right? They already had kind of some twisted ways about their shit, but maybe there was some order to it or something, you know. And it became exploitive. You know, I mean, if it was a small group or whatever, there's a lot of groups that they had certain rules and regulations that they followed. It wasn't just like a free-for-all, kind of like the way they describe the Muslims over there in fucking the Middle East and shit, you know. It's like there was order, you know. So it's like, yeah, maybe they kept it in the family, but it was really fucking well organized so that it didn't get all fucking crazy or whatever, you know. And so maybe these people came over here and then they were sick and twisted because they're coming from this secret organization. I mean, this is ancient history probably that I'm talking about right now. It could be future too, and it is definitely probably going on right now for sure because everything happens all at once. But these motherfuckers over here been sending people out on fucking boats and shit out here on the ocean for a long time, man, with their little militaries and stuff to cause a lot of fucking grief to people, you know? Small communities of people, enslave them, take their children, do twisted shit to their children, put them in traumatized positions where then maybe they start doing that same shit, you know, because they've been fucking broken, right? And so this shit could have happened to a family bloodline, to an ancestor of yours or whatever, fuck 1,000 years ago, you know, a million years ago, 4 billion years ago, you know, because this shit's been going on forever. This is the battle that we're fighting. This is what we're trying to stop doing, you know. This is why going to Mars is ridiculous. We need to clean up our own mess at home, man. And that's what it's all about. These motherfuckers should have just made their place divine by being in their divine light instead of trying to fucking sacrifice fucking shit, sacrifice children, sacrifice people, fucking and go rule and conquer the world so that they can be powerful and rich while we all gotta be poor and fucking broke. You know? And so they just come in and fucking raging on in, doing whatever the fuck they want, taking whatever the fuck they want. They broke these families, man. They broke this connection that this earth angel had with their ancestors, you know? And so what these sick fucks just seen as family entertainment, these motherfuckers understood as tradition, but then it got broken, you know? Because these motherfuckers wanted to exploit it so they could show off for the rich bitches that gotta fucking sit in their fancy palaces and shit over in fucking Europe, you know? And like, so down the road, it ends up that these motherfuckers are abusing their children. They're fucking, they're fucking, they got no more connection with their ancestors. That shit's been broke because in the past they've done the atrocities that happened to them spilled over into practice for them, and then that caused a curse to their family bloodline, and that just cursed them forever, man. They've been like struggling with that shit ever since, They fucking got tied up with this fucking people's church probably because they came in and conquered with that cross like they always fucking do. And they want to set up that cross and they want to tell you to kneel, and then they unzip their motherfucking pants, man. And so that's what taught fucking people that had good relationship with God, that had a good understanding of God, they didn't do shit that hurt their fucking children and stuff like that, turned them into fucking demons, man, that don't even know how to fucking survive because they had shit attached to them, sucking on these motherfuckers that come over from Europe with all that toxic shit in them, And by force, too. It's like they didn't have an option. They just slayed every fucking buddy. They were broken. That's fucking predatory fucking shit, dude. That's fucking bullshit. That is ancient history. That's that 10-second ride at fucking Six Flags, man. And of course we're all batshit fucking crazy because of it. We can't go from ancient history till now on a 10-second ride at fucking Six Flags, up and down, up and down, up and down, man, and think that this shit's ever gonna fucking make sense. We gotta level shit out and get the fuck off that ride. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. That's why these two here, these karmics here, these two, they couldn't stay married, because there's some weirdo shit going on behind the scenes, man. This masculine here had some fucking broke off fucking shit and couldn't be trusted, couldn't be trusted with kids or whatever, like, for whatever reason. Maybe they're a fucking addict, maybe they're fucking whatever, they were broke off, they had ancestral timeline that was broken, man, that had attachments on it. A lot of attachments, If it was one of those, it'd be like 5 or 6 emails, It'd be a lot. You might even have to do 7 or 8 emails to get all those attachments on there, You ain't got no storage. You're never going to get that email out. That's just what it is. And so, these two couldn't stay married, but they did give birth to a divine masculine. See how that works? See? After all them fucking ancestors are on this ride over here at Six Flags, man. That 10-cent ride, they're fucking flying fucking up and down, up down. They can't keep their shit together. They can't balance their shit out. They can't be divine individual, They don't have it in them. They don't have the power in them and shit. And they're sitting there and they're watching from that ride. They're watching all this shit fuck up their ancestral bloodlines, destroy their earth angels and shit, separate them from their ancestors and stuff, And then like change the definition of family entertainment. Like, so they got divorced, and that's what causes this masculine right here. That's a divine masculine to be in this wounded warrior position because the trauma that's happened through this eons, through all these generations, is on the shoulder of that divine masculine right there because that's the way it works when you're divine masculine, So it's natural for you to feel like you're in that wounded wanted position, man, that you're in that wounded warrior position, That's natural for you to feel that way. It really is, But you're this earth angel right here, man, And so you're an earth angel, and your ancestors, they're trying to talk to you, and they're trying to tell you that we're under siege over here, man, and we need to start healing this shit, We need to get off this ride, man, because these motherfuckers, they have all of us in this fucking position right now. All of us. And they're over here. Look at that shit. They're in some kind of goddamn, look at that shit. They think they're untouchable. They got all this ocean over here on this side. And then they got all these, look at this, all that shit, man. And those are crystals and stuff, And so they're doing magic. They are, And that's the truth, man. Hey, Spirit. Who's this over here on the other side of the ocean, man? And what the hell are they doing? And why do they think they got any right to be treating us this way? And sending out all these false prophets and sending out all these war boats and all these mean men and stuff that want to hurt people and want to hurt children and want to hurt babies and want to like sell them and enslave them and all this just for money and just for greed. And a lot of them don't even get power. They just do it because they like it, man. Who are these people over here, Most High? Spirit? Why we gotta listen to them? Spirit says they're jokers. That's what Spirit says, you know. That Joker card could also mean that Emperor, you know. But that applies because that's what I'm talking about right now, man. These motherfuckers out here, you know, they think that they're emperors, you know. They think that they rule the world, man. And by rule the world, what they mean by rule the world is that they mean that they got a bigger bomb than the other guy, and so they could blow him up faster than he could blow them up. That's what they mean by that. That's what they mean, you know. That makes them an emperor. That don't make them jack shit. You know, that makes them an asshole is really what a joker is, what it makes them. A joker. Or an asshole. It depends on how stupid the joke is, you know. So far, I don't think that any of them got much game, you know. They should shut their mouths. It's stupid. It's really stupid. It's like watching little boys playing dress-up time, you know, but they want to get dressed up to go play with their nuclear weapons, and that's not a fucking squirt gun. Give them motherfuckers some fucking goddamn squirt guns or some BB guns or something, and they let them go out in the field and shoot each other all day long, you know? Otherwise, tell them to go fuck themselves, you know? Then they out here fucking be over here in the rocks and shit. Fuck that shit, you know? Divine Feminine don't like none of this. You can see her, she's out there right in the middle of it all. It's like everybody wants to fucking just look at her, blame her. You know, it's like that cult wants to fucking hide over there and fucking do all this shit with these fucking ancestral bloodlines. It causes distance between her and her divine masculine, her four wands. You know, that's her twin flame, 1111. That's her soul mate, you know, that's what they say. That's her celebration. She's tired of all this bullshit, man. She ain't got no fucking family. She's alone, you know, but that bitch, you can see, she's big, she's bold, she's right there in the middle, she landed solid, she's stuck, you know, and she's working on her emotions and stuff, and she's dealing with her shit so that she can stand up against these motherfuckers right here that she's got a straight shot at, no matter what, because they can't protect themselves from her, you know, not anymore because she's with Most High, man. She's the Earth Angel. Because she's the one that's closest to the earth right now. You know? And that's the truth. And the moon. Now, see, these motherfuckers are closer to the moon than she is, though. And there's water between her and the moon. And so she's trying to get her emotions balanced so she can trust her intuition. She's working her way towards it, where these motherfuckers are trying to hide shit. Keep secrets. They're trying to do everything in the shadow of the moon. That's what they're trying to do, you know? Because they're shadow workers. They can't be trusted. You know, it's like the moon. I love the moon. You got to know the moon energetically because it's never in the same spot again in the night sky, man. You got to chase the moon all over the place. The sun makes sense. You can sit in one place. If you know where that place is at, and you can wait for the sun to rise, and it's going to rise in that place. Definitely. The moon moves a lot more than that, you know. She kind of surprises you. You know, sometimes she rises during the day and you don't even get a moon at night. You know, so she's kind of like that. And this Divine Feminine right here, she's learned that because she's a high priestess too, you know. That's why she's all alone right now. She's completely alone, you know. And there's distance, you know, between, because these jokers are causing that distance. She just don't know. She knows she's closer to this issues here, but she knows the root cause of these issues, and that's why these people are scared. It goes all the way up, you know, all the way up. And they believe that these motherfuckers over here are completely, they'll destroy you. That's what they think, you know, they're scared of them. They think they could never fall because of their witchcraft. You know, that's the Queen of Wands. That could also be your energy too, because you're tired of this fucking joker standing in the way of your four wands, you know? And that Queen of Wands, she's a warrior. You know, she's a bad bitch. Like she's the one that she's the boss. You know, she gets the job done. Like she's fire. You know, and so she ain't afraid to use black magic. Definitely not. You know, and you shouldn't be either right now if that's what your talent is, because if God gives you that skill and that gift, and you listen in your heart from God, and you know for damn good and well that you've done your research, and your intuition is accurate, and so you know that takes a lot of Jedi Knight shit. So you got to have your proper training, or you got to listen to God solely, you know, to understand what I mean by this. Well, then you have wands at your disposal, you know, and don't pretend like you don't, you know, because if you don't, that's like leaving a loaded gun out there, you know, and anybody can pick it up and start pulling off rounds, you know, and so don't be afraid to use your magic against their magic, you know, because you got it, you know. That's 7 of wands right there, you know, and so you have the wands at your disposal to properly attack the root cause of this drama that we're having over here, you know. For this, you have the wands at your disposal to protect your 4 of wands right here, you know, because you are the queen of wands, and like you got that black cat out there, because that black cat knows how to navigate the emotion and the moon, you know, and that black cat gives you intuitive guidance, you know, and protection. And that's the Queen of Wands, you know. She's got that black cat there, you know, and the sunflowers. Yeah, and this that Jack of Diamonds right there. See that Jack of Diamonds. That's your energy. That's been your energy too, you know, because the magic that's been being thrown at you from these motherfuckers over here with this Queen of Wands right here, they've been trying to slow you down, you know, so that you're moving slow, and you're not you know, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's not like you're a fucking shit up or you're being like totally karmic or like just an asshole. It's just that you're kind of not really doing anything, you know. You're being real stagnant. You're being slow. It's a jack of it's the knight of earth, you know, and earth is the slowest moving energy in the deck this night, you know, this card. It's very slow. It's plodding, you know, but it can also it's very honest and very loyal, you know, like that's a good energy in the upright position with the tarot. But at the same time, it's not. It's like a person who has a fog around them, you know, and it's like they're not really doing anything with their life, and their life is kind of passing by on them. But they do have a pinnacle. It's like they have God's light in them, but it's not shining as brightly as it can, you know. But that's because they want to take your 7 of wands right here, you know. They want to take your 7 of wands because they're jokers. They don't have jack shit on themselves, man. And they already got you questioned your 4 of wands, so they want to take your 4 of wands, and they want to take your 7 of wands because they want to be the Queen of Wands that's controlling you, you know, and keeping you in a position where you just kind of like moving through life. You're just like plodding along, but you're not really out there chasing what it is that's like real passionate for you, you know. What gives you a lot of passion, you know, or like success or a feeling of success. It's like they want to have that feeling for themselves. That's why they're doing the magic on you. That's the way these motherfuckers work, you know. And I think that's what these karmic family members here, the mother and father figure, you know. I think that they're vampires, man, and I think that they had different ways that they wanted to feed on you, but they were both so greedy that they had to get divorced because they couldn't even stand to watch the other one, you know, feeding on you at the same time. Would have killed you probably. Definitely would have, you know. You're strong just to be able to survive. Your family's been through some fucking shit, you know. Because these motherfuckers, you know, I know the energy on that button, and they're evil. You know, I know where that button came from, man. And I know whose button that was, and I know what they were up to, you know, because I know shit. I'm psychic, you know, and they're evil. I know what they did to these people, man, and it's atrocious, you know, and they're still doing it today. But back then they did it right out in the wide open. Fucking, And so they kind of cleaned up their act. Now that's the way they see it. They're like, no, fuck, we want the world back where we could be dragons right out in front of everybody, They're sick. They're sick. But it's hard to see that when you're this divine masculine and you're so heavily leaning on the toxic individuals, Like if you're trying to rid yourself of toxicity, you have to first free yourself from the toxic environment that you're in, or there's no point in doing a detox. It's like if you're still shooting heroin and stuff, what's the point of like doing a detox? Or like or a detox tea? If you can't even do a detox or start a detox until you stop putting that shit in your arm. That's the only way you can start the detox. You got to take that first step. And that's the most painful. Yeah. And honestly, no, it's usually the third diet. Really, I mean, hey, honest, want to get real, depends on how long you've been using, but that 10th night could be a bitch, it's not easy detoxing, but you got to get yourself out of the environment that you're in. That's making you toxic in the first place. And that's what's going on with this, this jack of earth right here, this night of earth, got fog around them, doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be alcohol, It doesn't have to be sex. It could just simply be the lethargy, It could be apathy. It could be lack of participation. It could be isolation. It could be, just living without a direction, passing up on your blessings. It could be not passing up on your abundance, and just allowing life to be lived for you instead of living your life for yourself, Get one more here, Spirit, please. From this deck, Spirit. How are you today, Spirit? Oh, Spirit says look at your options, man. That's what Spirit says. Spirit says that, yeah, somebody's out here, they're feeling in the Spirit says they're feeling 9 of Cups. They're feeling good. They're feeling all right. Spirit says they're feeling all right, man. They got 1 cup missing. So, sorry, Spirit. Spirit's had, it's like my dog, my little guy out here. He's an angel, and he has like 3,000 point orbs and stuff on Cafe Astrology almost like every day, man. And that's like Spirit, Spirit's like, I had a pretty rough day. But it's 9 of Cups. It's like 9 of Pentacles or like whatever, It wasn't 10 of Cups. But I love you, Spirit. Hopefully that makes it a 10 of Cups. But Spirit says, Spirit actually says to you, what Spirit says to you is, Spirit says to be guarded with your heart space right now. That's what Spirit says, to this jack right here. Like Spirit says, really protect your cups, like to think about what it is that you really, really value, like what's truly you and what you want, like what you now that you have 9 cups, now that you actually have an understanding of where you're at emotionally and everything, that Spirit wants you to kind of stand up against anything that's trying to make you have a fogginess or a cloudy mind about the things that you want, because you're right on the brink of that 10 of Cups, But that 10 of Cups could be any one of these 7 cups right here. And so Spirit's like telling you that you got to really think wisely, because the wrong cup could there's a cup in there that could put you in that 9 of Wands, like I was saying, like this quarter that's beat up in between the two here, separated from your divine feminine, right? This quarter, that's that 9 of Wands right there, and so that's that wounded warrior feeling, but Spirit's telling you that you got to take action, that could happen, that these choices here, it's almost like you have 7 choices. And of those 7 choices, each one of them has you in a wounded warrior position, has you feeling like a wounded warrior. Um, but God's trying to remind you that, yeah, you feel like you're a wounded warrior, but you got to count your cups that you have. That's what God's trying to tell you. So it's like, you know, you know what I'm saying? And that's what God's trying to say. And God's saying, if you choose one and you choose the right one, that leaves you 6 cups over here, and 6 of cups is healing, right? And so, but Spirit's saying here with this 8 of Wands, because this is all your magic, you got a lot of magic. And so you got a lot of magic, and you're up against jokers, man. And they're trying to convince you that you're the joker, because they know that you're carrying shit from your family, from your history, from your past and stuff. They might have even done shit to you to try to have control over you, because that's the way these motherfuckers operated and have been for a long, long time. With you, with your family, with your ancestors, with your people, And so we all been on this fucking ride, man, for a long time. This is ancient history over here, and the 6 Flags, the 10-cent ride, right? 10-cent ride, man. We all need to get off that ride, man. That's what I think, That's what Spirit says. Spirit says that we all need to recognize the wounded warrior energy that we carry inside our heart from our ancestral conditioning that has us at a standoff with our masculine and our feminine energies within our own celestial orb, because ultimately that's what it is, it's in the ethers, man. Like you're at the center of a universe, and around you is everything, and from you, like, everything comes from, and that's the way it is. That's because we were created in the image of our Creator, and so that means that you are the Creator, It's like sacred geometry. It just keeps going and going and going and going, right? And so I am the center of my universe, man. And from me, within me, I make stars. I am a star, I'm a celestial being. I'm the center of the Big Bang, So it's like everything is expanding outward from me inward, You know what I'm saying? The Big Bang starts with your skin and it goes inside to your soul, And so everybody looks at it different, because the expansive space is only within. Because we have a shell around us that's a hardened shell, and your soul is within, and so the journey is within, and we have a lot of these jokers. The reason these guys come out as jokers, these motherfuckers over here, man, is because they're playing this game, right, where they got everybody convinced that the universe expands outward, and they by doing so, they've inverted everything. And so then now nothing makes sense, and that's why there's warfare, because we're not at peace within our internal expansion, man. We're not expanding internally as we should, We've bound ourselves in flesh, and we've bound ourselves in thought. We bound ourselves in earth, and we burned ourselves with fire, man. And so that's where the ultimate struggle is. It's within, man, and all of this happens within. But everything within plays with it, If you have it within, you're gonna visit it without, man, because it's your internal struggle will play itself out in reality, because that is why you created reality, was because you have these questions, God created you to seek deeper depth and understanding of the thing that He created initially. That was the consciousness and awareness, that internal expansion. And so God thought about you, and you became a consciousness, because God created you as a shared experience in their journey, as we do everything around us, because we're created in the image of this consciousness, right? Earth angels, man. We got to teach this shit to everybody. We got to heal this stuff, because these people took this knowledge away from all of us. They're more important than them stealing gold and silver and all that shit. That's what they stole from us, man. They stole from us our ancient wisdom, you know, our enlightenment. They stole from us our pathway to enlightenment, you know. And like and by persecuting and hurting and harming any of us who tried to who was on the process in the process of enlightenment, who was aligning with our higher selves, you know. That's what the hangman represents, you know. The hangman represents enlightenment. It's the last card in the deck, you know. And then he steps down as the fool, and the fool is the zero, you know. And so these individuals, they could, I think that they're in a hangman position right now, but I'm not too sure. I don't know if they're gonna enlighten, you know, like I'm not sure if they're gonna figure out how to get down off of that tree without all of us having to get down off of that tree with them. But the problem is that we're not the ones who need to enlighten. We've accepted the fool position a long time ago, you know, because we've had to really trust God, because their fuck shittery that got them in this position on this cross right here, because they're jokers. That's caused us a lot of grief in our Four of Wands, you know, in our divine unions, in our relationships, in our families, in our celebration, you know. Yeah, man, because see, these motherfuckers right here, the reason they're on that hangman position right there, and the reason they're jokers is because they're a devil too, you know. See, that fucker has wings and little fucking thing, trident, like, and horns, you know. And so it's a devil with fire around them, you know. And so they hate the world, they hate God, you know. And so they can't stand to see you love, you know. They have a hard time because they've been manipulating and lying and cheating and stealing, doing all this devil's work over here, and trying to be this Queen of Wands position where they could take your wands and then use them against you, you know, so that they could leave you in this Nine of Wands situation over here feeling fucking beat up just like that, with distance between you and your soulmate who you should be taking action towards, man. You know, they want you to feel like you ain't got nothing in those cups that you got, you know. That they're all just dumped over, that this person here has to protect their heart, you know, because every one of them cups got emptied by some other motherfucker, and that's why this guy sits here upside down like that in the reverse, covering up his heart, you know, because he's like, damn, man, this fucking Queen of Wands over here, I can't trust this bitch, you know. And it's like, well, yeah, but you should be able to, because you're also that Queen of Wands, you know. And so you need to harness that energy and get your shit together and realize that you're the magician too. You're magical too. You're intuitive, you know. You have good intuition too. You also have a black cat, you know. That you have your Four of Wands, but you're just been convinced that this son of a bitch over here is gonna come enlighten and teach you something, but it's just the devil hanging upside down where they belong, you know. And so you need to realize that, yeah, you're that Queen of Wands right there, man. Because you've already done this shit. You filled those cups up once already, and so you know how to defend yourself. But just see it in a positive light, and turn that shit around, and just realize that once the cup's full, it's always full. That's the way God operates. Once the cup's full, your cup's always full, and it always spill over, man. You have other motherfuckers coming around filling their cups up too, because you're like, that shit just keeps going, man. It doesn't stop. There's no spigot. Like, I looked, man, I tried to fix it. There's no spigot. You got to keep cups outside, because your cups are going to overflow, you know? That's what it is, man. And so as soon as you realize that you got that magic and shit, you know, and step up off that bench and quit sleeping on it. Instead of fucking, okay, you know, these motherfuckers are coming at you with black magic and shit, with all this bullshit, with all this wands. They're trying to take your wands and use them against you, you know? Try to take away your Four of Wands from you, use it against you. Try to take this Seven of Wands, try to take the shit you're working towards, the shit you love, your passion, your magic, your fire, use it against you. Try to tell you ain't that fucking Nine of Cups, you know. Try to tell you your Nine of Cups is turned upside down. You say bullshit on that. Fuck you. I got 7 options over here, and I'm gonna take the right option, and I'm gonna take the right course and shove them fucking 9 wands up your ass, motherfucker. Take action towards the one I love. Towards the one I love, you know. I'm going to get down off this fucking table, and then I'm going to have wands and swords, motherfuckers. They're hanging here, freshly sharpened, and that one's ready to go. And that's just what it is. They're like, I'm like one of them Indian gods and Hindu gods or whatever. I got fucking 4 arms. I'll swing these motherfuckers like you ain't never seen before, because I'm out here to get my fucking 10 of cups. I'm out here to heal my family. I'm out here because I'm an earth angel, and I'm out here to make this shit get better, man. I'm tired of this ancestral shit haunting my bloodline. And I have my masculine over here, or I have my feminine over here, and I'm standing in this wounded fucking warrior position, and that's stupid. I'm not that fucking wounded warrior, not at all. I'm actually this motherfucker over here with 16 fucking cups coming out as a 10 cups right here, because I'm all fucking happiness and joy and fucking family, and we're going to protect these fucking children, man. You know? We're going to fucking keep shit straight, man. Keep the rainbow up there in the fucking air where it belongs, you know? Let the kids play fucking safe. What do you think about that, Spirit? What's slowing down this Jack of Pentacles right here, Spirit? They just don't want to see the truth, you know? Struggling with seeing the truth. It's hard for them to understand how they could be this Queen of Spades right, or this Queen of Staffs right here, and then they could also be this this Jack also at the same time. That's what they're having a hard time realizing, you know? They don't understand. They don't understand how they could be this Queen of Staves, but this Queen of Staves could also be a family member or somebody that they love. Or it could also be the occult over here that's just hiding out and fucking doing weirdo shit in the background. But this family member could be tied with that occult. They don't want to see that truth. The truth that that this Queen of Staves could actually be their saving grace too. You know? Because it could be their magic, you know? It could be the strength and power that they need, and the passion and the drive and the ambition that to actually turn this Ace of Swords upside right, you know? And see that they got something to fight for with that sort of truth, you know? And speak the truth, you know? Instead of feeling defeated and feeling like their crown's going to be falling down in the dirt and shit, they need to realize that God's giving them that sort of truth so that they have something to fight for themselves for, because they got this 10 of cups right here, man. They got 10 of cups. They're just sleeping on it because they, them, somebody else, you know, yourself, you, are doing black magic one way or another, because black magic is low emotional thought. It's low emotional energy. It's low, it's lacking compassion. You know, it lacks intuition, and it lacks honesty and integrity. You know, it doesn't have powerful energy behind it. If you have a weak thought, or if you have like a jealous thought, or if you have an ugly thought, or if you have an envious thought, or if you have like a hateful thought or whatever, you know, or just a rude thought, you know, or just a non-productive thought, all of that is black magic, you know. It's all negative energy. And so that's just casting spells. That's tossing wands out there. That's throwing them wands out there, like saying, hey, let's go for it. Let's do this shit. Step up, you know. And so if you're doing that, that's going to have an energetic effect on others around you. That's why you got to be really aware of what your actions are and how you, what your intention is. Most importantly, man, because it has a real live effect on motherfuckers, you know. Spirit, why is this Ace of Swords coming out upside down? See, the truth is, that's that 5 of coins I was talking about over here. That Chuck E. Cheese coin. In the reverse. And that's the lie, you know. That's the truth that this Jack of coin right here doesn't want to face, you know. And it's making it really hard for them to decide what truth to accept and how that's going to affect the outcome of this 7 of cups with this 9 of cups right here, because they're afraid that if they make the wrong choice, it's going to turn all their cups upside down and they're going to be fucked, you know. And that's what's holding them back right here, you know. But with this card being in the reverse, that means that motherfucker's got to make a choice. They got to step down off there, and they got to fucking make a choice one way or the other of how they're gonna wield that sword, you know. And I think that the one that they love the most, you know, they only got one sword for that individual, but they're facing 3 swords over here, you know. Those 3 swords could fall on them and that'd be it if they made the wrong choice, you know. And that's why they're in that 9 of Wands position over here at that beat up quarter that I showed y'all. See that fucked off quarter right here, right? Right? And see, this the crazy shit goes on here on Earth, man. It really does. I've had my fair share of it, you know. I really have. Spirit, what are we taking action towards here? Where are we gonna take action toward? So Spirit, it was a beautiful day today. I think you all did good work today. You know, I appreciate that. You know, you've been working really good with me, working hard with me, you know. Appreciate you having that space out there, you know, give me space for garden, give me all soil for garden stuff, man. My pickup truck and stuff to haul it in, you know, like I appreciate that because that'd be really a lot of work hauling it over here from the other side of the property with on my back, you know. Okay, can we get one more, Spirit, please? The Spirit gave us 3 more. And they're all in reverse, see? This two coin right here has been coming out a lot, you know. But this King of Wands right here, this King of Wands is these guys over here, you know. Because they're attacking us all, man. Because right now, they're trying to juggle coins, see? Because the thing is that they've harvested our bounty so fucking hard, so heavily, and so greedily, that right now, they're trying to weigh up the odds of like, well, we've been able to just fuck with them and play with them and do whatever we want to their kids, lie to them, take their 10 of cups and steal from them, cheat on them, and fucking just treat them like shit, you know, because they're the rulers, they're the 1%, right? And so they just have rallied our asses, and they got this big ass fucking pile of coin, right? But right now, they're really pushed everything like to the point where they don't want to harvest anymore, you know, because they're so greedy that they think that, oh, there's not enough left, right? But Earth is forever abundant, man. Like Earth is forever abundant. There's always going to be enough left. That's the way it is with God Most High, man. There's always enough. If you need anything, you just got to look around you. You'll find it. I promise you, that's manifestation. You just got to have that one ingredient, faith, you know. And so these motherfuckers out here, though, man, they got everybody in this position here where they're standing on their head trying to juggle their coin and stuff, man, and it's just not it's not working for us at all because we don't have anything really to juggle, you know. We fucking are strapped, you know, because they have it all. But the thing is that they feel like they're in that energy too. They feel like they're in the same energy as we are. They're all stressed out. They're more stressed out. You know, like that's why they get on the news and bitch about it and stuff all the time. That's why you listen to Elon bitching and moaning, or listen to Trump bitching and moaning, or all these motherfuckers out here. Doesn't matter what either side, you know, they're just the ones that are easy to pick on right now because they're in the headlines. But fucking, you know, Biden is a kook, man. I mean, absolute criminal, like absolute horrible person, man. That Kamala was an idiot. I mean, these people, they're all horrible people. Just horrible people, and they're all part of this cult, man. They're all, if they're a big shot, they're going to a Bilderberg group, or if they're a senator or a junior senator, or if they're any of these motherfuckers that have some title on their name like that, they're all doing evil shit. They're doing dark stuff, and that's how you get into the gang. You know, that's how you get into the team. You know, you gotta do evil shit to people's bloodlines, so you break them off. So that you could be the Queen of Wands over here, over their life, control their 4 of Wands, control their options, you know, control their feeling like they got their cups full, like they're happy, making them feel like they got to juggle their shit, control their 10 of cups, you know, and then they take it all from you using black magic, man. They siphon it off, and then they use that energetically to be these powers now that control the world and have it's a pedophile, ancestral cult of sick fucks, man. And they've been ruling the world for a long time, you know, and it affects our lives more than you even realize. And that's what we all need to wake up to, you know. Like they destroy all of our relationships, you know. Like we don't have the quality of relationships, the quality of soul connections that we should have, that we should share because of the environment that they have constructed around you. You know, and it's high time people start to wake up. You know, you are already in the matrix. You know, so I am already like Neo or whatever, or like whatever that other guy was in there, the guy that came and got him. You know, the dude with the gap in his teeth, right? That guy. What's his name, man? I don't watch that movie very much, but there's people that talk about it. You know, yeah, but it's like that. It really is. You know, it's that way, man. Like, this shit's crazy out here. This shit's really crazy out here. But I'm gonna let you go. It's a long one. No, not bad. Hour and 5 minutes. Um, well, I always like kind of close out with a prayer, though, and so because man, every day that I have a day that goes by, and I'm still safe, and I'm still able to manage, and like to keep myself out of that dark place that we've all seen darkness, man. I've traversed some real dark places, God showing me, like a lot of people say, God showed me the light. Well, God showed me the darkness, and so that's it's an intense place, man, and so it's like, but I found comfort, like immense comfort with God, even the most discomfort, like and that's how I survived is that God blanketed me with their light. Like, God didn't just show me their light, like God saved me with their light. Like, God, like, took me through places that never seen the light, like it was the first time I'd ever seen the light, and like God brought me on that journey, and was the light there, so that I could witness those places in that light, and that's powerful. A lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people are very afraid of those places, and rightfully so. But like, the thing is that those locked doors, are inside of us, all of us. And the problem is right now is that I think that we've been getting messages from the other side of the door, but a lot of us don't have keys, And so it's like we're in a world filled with people who have no relationship with the dark side, and so the dark side's controlling them, but they don't even realize it, And so that's what God taught me about, man. And I appreciate that lesson, Most High. It's been a wild ride, man. It's been shit. That was fucking $10 ride, I guess, on that fucking Six Flags Spirit. And thank you for bringing me, to that across those waters, man. Like, thank you, thank you for letting me go crazy just perfectly right, letting me go down that path, because I see clearly that the world's insane, man. And so, of course, they think I'm crazy because I believe in you with every ounce of my heart. You've shown me in every way possible. Not even that I asked, I would never, but I appreciate the hell out of you, Most High. And so now's a good time, that we could show others, and people want to be set free, they do. People want to be set free. They do, though, but everybody's stuck in this 4 coins. They're just, that's the truth, man. That card right there, shit, it's always coming out of the deck, we gotta start thinking big, people. God saved you to be a saint. God saved you to be a leader, to be a ruler. God saved you, gave you tongue, gave you voice, gave you the ability, no matter what, to spread the word right now and to teach. Because this world needs teachers more than ever. And so no matter what, like, you'll learn your lesson as you go, and that's the beautiful part about being a teacher. And so, even if you're your first student, or your only student, you're still a teacher. And so right now is the time to teach, it's a time to be in that position to teach, because there's a lot of individuals out there that need to learn, and so On that note, man, I love y'all. And I pray for y'all out here, man. I'm God's called me for a reason, man. And there's some fucking spiritual warfare right now that's being done that we're gonna change this world, man. And it's gonna happen, and that revolution is not gonna be televised, Yeah, eventually we're all just gonna sign off and go back to the forest, man. So I'm shesh, not no way. And I hope that all y'all are love and light, and that every day gets easier for you, Peace out.